Hello. In this video, I wanted to talk about um, the Kundalini energy of creation and possibly trying to place or possibly to trying to relate the multi-dimensional aspect of its existence into our three-dimensional space. And so there's a lot of misconstrued notions about what Kundalini is and what Kundalini isn't. I'm a huge fan and practitioner of Kundalini yoga, uh, or at least the personal forms of it. But just to define it to begin with, what Kundalini is, it is simply energy, natural energy of your body, and then its flow within your system or self. And so the the essence of us exists within basically this motorized structure of our physical form, and then we come to identify with it as our bodies, and we come to identify with it as this is me because my fingers bend, or my hair grows, or my teeth chomp, whatever. But in truth is all of the outer extremities, right, are just external extrapolations or interpretations of energy that is in fact at the core of our being, right? And there are a lot of there's a lot of teachings out there, through Hinduism and Buddhism and yoga and you name it. Chiropractic care kind of in the ways of manipulation of energy. So chiropractors don't go walk around saying, "No, I work with your Kundalini," because that would have everyone running for the hills. But in essence, all of those practices are in fact our personal interpretation of how to work with the existing energy of ourselves, within the fact that we are energetic beings, right? We are electrical beings, and we have you know polarities running within us. We can manipulate energy. We can work with energy, which is something that I'm extremely passionate about. And so, in this particular video, what I wanted to address is that possibly remove that stigma from the Kundalini um, opinions, and just simply say is that in Taoism, for example, or in any Chinese martial arts, right? When they talk about the Wuji state or the Yin and Yang, they're in fact talking about Kundalini, right? So those who practice martial arts are in fact Kundalini practitioners, right? Those who practice yoga, any type of yoga, are in fact Kundalini practitioners. And so the Kundalini word itself, as stigmatized as it have come to be, simply means, working with your body's energy. And then what you do with it is really kind of your question, right? And so to touch on that, or to kind of, after destigmatizing that, I wanted to talk about what is it that you can do, or how do you work with your body's energy, and through many years of like actual positioning and breath work and trial and error, and some insightful channeling, I have come to one conclusion, really, and I think this is kind of like the best summary possible that I can come up with, of what is it that we are able to do, right? Or what is it, how we're able to do it, in through kind of the compilation of all the esoteric knowledge and the traditions, and the alchemy, and like Egyptian energy work. I've come to realize is that we as a human beings are able to generate, basically, you know electromagnetic charges that that carry very much of a positive and a negative current, right? And I know that sounds really weird, but we are in essence a battery, right? And then the Kundalini work, or the martial arts work, or chiropractic work, whatever you call it, is simply adjustments or altering or tweaking of where's the positive and where's the negative, and then where do you find the balance between the two, right? And so the way the way that I have interpreted and the way that I see my system working is the I see my lower Dantian, which is what would be interpreted in Taoism, but it is your sacral chakra, kind of one and the same, but possibly different, where your lower energy is stored, and then your upper energy is stored in your third eye, right? Or and I don't know what the Taoists actually call it, but it is basically your upper dantian. And then in the combination of the two, right, in the charges between the lower and the higher, or the positive and the negative, I guess you would call it, yeah, then you would be able to combine the two energies. And when I say combine, you would be able to bring them together into their individual currents, right? Their distinct currents of a positive and negative, right? And then interpret it or have the outflow of their combined effort not as positive and negative combined into one current, but actually the transmuted version of the two. And so the Wuji state that you would refer to in Taoism, um, or the unified breath in the yoga practice, is that sweet point where you take the positive current and the negative current, and then you bring the two together, right? And a lot of times when you work with your ball of energy, right, you can kind of feel the current build up there. And then when you bring the two together, it actually transmutes. And so through the lower dantian and the upper dantian, right, and then we have the heart center. You can interpret that energy, and then how we do it as humans is through these tools called arms. And then we are able to combine the two, transmute them to our own will or our own liking, and then actually push the energy forward, one out of our heart center, but then in fact is, we have the intersection of self right through here. That is our arms, and then we can actually allow the heart center to kind of wrap around and travel out into our arms, right? And so all the massage therapists, all the Reiki practitioners, all the chiropractors, all the doctors, all the nursing staff, right, who work with their arms, regardless whether or not you believe or you think this is, some weird, wuju stuff, you would be able to realize that your arms, right, are almost like magical instruments that do stuff, right? Not just pick up things, but they have this flow of energy coming through them. And it is because in the moments of your awakened being, or almost like non-recognition, you're able to, through natural functionality, without practicing yoga, without practicing martial arts, you are able to unify your being and then send out that energy through your center, through your heart center, and through your arms, and then interpret it however you want to, right? So creation, right? Artist painting is interpretation of this combined energy, transmuted into an art piece, right? Sculptors do the same thing. And all of that, I would classify this as Kundalini energy, but really all of that I would classify as just the essence of you, right? What the Kundalini is, or what the energy is just your personal essence, right? Your unique interpretation of your sacral and your unique interpretation of your third eye, combining of the two, and then manifesting out the beautiful existence that whatever you can bring into this world, whether it's cooking, whether it's painting, whether it's sculpting, whether it's chiropractic work, whether it's computer science, photography, videography, you name it, you're doing it. And so treat your body really as a temple, right? As a recognize it to be for what it is, not as this thing that has blood flowing and has fingers moving, but as the most unique apparatus, that is made for creation, right? You're here in this three-dimensional space, designed for creation. You're designed for love, and you're designed for manifestation. And these are your tools, for love. And so I hope that that dissipates some misunderstandings, and I hope it clarifies of what the energy is and how it flows. And then the more you practice, the more you cognitively become aware of this merge or of this flow, the easier it will get for you to actually, start doing crazy stuff with energy work, besides, producing art or music or whatever your, tool of joy might be. Because our life, right, is not meant to be limited to our small interpretation of what we can do as a three-dimensional human being. Sooner or later, as we expand our awareness and also expand this energy as we work with it, we'll be able to start, pretty much manifesting whatever we want, right here on the spot, with simple knowledge of our awareness, and what we're able to do with our life, moment by moment. So thank you for listening, and happy energy working.